So, from your vantage point, where do you see the future of work happening for the organization? Like, what do you? So, when you're designing this organization, and obviously having come through the pandemic, now looking at the future, what do you see would be your modus operandi when it comes to designing an organization that sort of is prepared for the future?
I think it's a hybrid world, right? The ability to find outstanding talent anywhere they reside is critical, and it should be like foundation number one. So we're hybrid. We hire from anywhere. And the behaviors are different, right? So we're hiring for technical competency still, but the ability to communicate verbally and in written form, the ability to exercise emotional intelligence and focus on that competence, learning agility and core values, I think becomes more important from a hiring perspective and a promotion perspective, because it's just critical in how we treat people. When you think about, will supply chain challenges still be here 12 months from now? Probably, right? So we have to think differently, and we have to innovate. We have to get away from, well, we've always done it this way, to how can and should we do it differently? And a constant redesign of processes. I think every time someone leaves, it's an opportunity to redesign the work, right? So I say to my managers constantly, you cannot post a rec unless you've looked at the workflow and the process to say, should it be done the same way, right? Because if you're constantly iterating and getting better and redesigning, you're not replacing the same job. You're allowing people to experience different career experiences and learning opportunities. And then perhaps domino effect, you're allowing people to be promoted so that you're replacing somebody on the beginning of the ladder that's just joining from an entry-level perspective and continuing to iterate. I think the world of career ladders, long gone, right? Especially in this virtual world. So from a workforce perspective, we have to do so much better at challenging ourselves to build rock walls, right? So a rock wall, there's so many ways to the top. You just don't go vertically. It's the same idea in getting to a leadership position. If that's what you want to do, right? So you can move laterally and continue to gain compensation. And perhaps it comes from a variable bonus perspective as opposed to base compensation. Maybe it comes from flexibility in their offering sabbaticals and just different benefits that are important to you. I think we have to really deconstruct what the premise of benefits and expectations from a career perspective looked like previously. I have stepsons that are oh goodness, I guess they're millennials, right? And I was thinking, how old are they? But both of them have had multiple jobs already, and they're 30. And so the idea is when I look at them, and they, about every 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, they're going to a new organization. And it's not because the company that they've left is bad. They're bored. They want a different challenge. They want to focus on different things. And sometimes they don't even move for substantially more money. They do definitely, this consistent factor I have found generation across all generations is people continue to leave bad managers, right? So that's the consistent piece. But I think there's so much opportunity to do it differently and to learn from, existing generations in the workforce and new generations that are coming up. So my smallest is 11. So she's 6th grade. And when I think about, today I can drive down the street and Dunkin' Donuts is hiring at $13 an hour and Amazon's hiring at $16 an hour. So my gosh, her first entry level opportunity, even if it slides back just slightly, she's going to make probably $15 an hour as a 15-year-old, right? A few years from now. Her expectation will be different of what she wants to do, is surrounded by, what she hates or what she finds joy in. And so we have to constantly iterate and look to the next generation that's entering the workforce to understand how do we leverage their strengths and how do we grow their capabilities? Because our construct of work needs to really become more modern and change.